Okay, so about every year around this time of the year, March 23rd, I'll get a text from my grandmother, uh, and she'll always say like, "Oh, Carter, this is your anniversary of your baptism," you know, and it's so fucking annoying. So I was baptized, whatever the fuck that even means. Like literally, what does baptism even mean? It's so stupid. But I was, it's a cult ritual. That's what it is. Anyways, I was and I had this cult ritual performed on me, um, like 10 years ago, I think legit 10 years ago. God, it's so weird. It's so weird, dude. Christianity is so weird because it's like, oh man, this is such a fascinating topic. Okay, this is so fascinating. So Christianity is like where the place I was baptized at was like it was like a modern evangelical Protestant church. It is literally indifferent than any other cult building anywhere on earth. The Protestants are the cult Christians. Catholics are cult Christians too, but Catholicism isn't as much regarded as being a cult because Catholicism, and this is the interesting thing. Catholicism is a part of our culture. It's so historical. It's so embedded in our institutions, our culture, our society. That's why we don't see it as a cult because it's so old and so institutionalized. Whereas Protestantism is seen more as a cult. I mean, look at Mormonism, bro. Everyone agrees except Mormons. Everyone except Mormons agrees that Mormonism is a cult, and that's fucking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Every single Christian you ask will tell you, yes, Mormonism is a cult because it fucking is. I mean, the only people who are Mormons are people who were born into the Mormon faith. Same with the only people who are Christians are people who were born in the Christian faith. And the reason Christians love people who convert to Christianity is because it makes it seem like Christianity is true. It's why Ravi Zacharias, that fucking dude, made a fuck ton of money from peddling Christianity, from peddling more, I think more specifically, peddling his conversion to Christianity. He made a hell of a living from that. Why? Because when you convert to a religion, people who were born into that religion feel like their religion is true and it makes them feel good and whatnot. Muslims are the same way. They love when white people convert to Islam. They're like, yes, Allah Akbar, Islam is the true religion, even though it's not. It's a stupid cult. Okay, but God, baptism is so fucking stupid. Like okay, so I was baptized at a Methodist church, and I think the church I was at was probably one of the more liberal churches. It's okay, and this is another fascinating thing about Christianity is how you have liberal churches, like progressive churches. Why the fuck do they even exist in the first place? They're not Christian because Christians fundamentally put their faith above everything else. You can't you can't be included in the in the community if you're not a believer fundamentally. And progressive Christians, which my grandmother is one of these people, this lady who fucking message me texts me every March 23rd like, "Oh Carter, this is the anniversary of your baptism. We're so proud." Like I'm like, Why the fuck do you even have that on your calendar? Like it's such a stupid event. God damn, like I don't know. I remember she gifted me like me and my brother these candles, and it was cringe, dude. Like it was like, oh, we accepted Jesus into our heart. Like, dude, it's a cult. It's a cult. I don't. There's a word for it to describe what baptism is, but it's a cult. It's a like a initiation. It's a cult initiation ritual. That's literally all it is. There's nothing like it's stupid as fuck. 'Cause let's let like let's follow the rules of Christianity. Let's say you don't get baptized. Are you quote unquote saved, which is the end game goal of, the whole religion? No. So what the fuck's the point of it? There's no point of it. Baptism is stupid. It's a cult ritual. It's the same thing as like fucking painting your face with ash. That's what the fucking yeah, that's what these people do. Dude, apparently people have been doing this for so long. I never noticed the ash on the forehead. I've been alive for 25 years. I've never noticed that until like 3 years ago. I never knew that Christians did that until 3 years ago. Cuz my brother who lived with my grandma at the time, my other grandma, was talking about it, how she painted her forehead with fucking like ash whatever in the shape of a cross and, and she like kept it on throughout the day and I'm like, okay, that's just cringe. That's a little cringe. Can we just agree on that? That like that's a little creepy. It's a little antisocial. It is antisocial. Wearing a cross on your it's you're proclaiming to the world you're a cult member. God damn it. And the funny thing is with my grandma is she's not even a Christian. Like I know she hates me because I would annoy the fuck out of her with like trying to expose I would try to convert her to Christianity because she's not a Christian, but she pretends to be a Christian. It is hilarious. I love how Christians do that. I love how they try to convert other Christians to Christianity. Like they have this obsession with evangelism. It's hilarious. God, these people are creeps. I hate them. I really hate them, and I want to put them in camps. No, I don't want to do that because if you put them in camps, that only vindicates them. The way to defeat Christianity is to teach the Bible. We need to expose the religion for what it is. And the way to do that is to get people thinking about what it is. It's a cult that only gets survives through getting passed on generation to generation. We need to become enlightened and realize that there's something greater out there than just this stupid fucking book that was arbitrarily put together. And it's essentially the Book of Mormon. The Bible is literally the Book of Mormon. Okay. If Mormonism's false, Christianity is false also. Everyone knows Mormonism's false. It's Mormonism is absolutely fascinating because it's so to any outside observer, Mormonism is absolutely false. And the Christians who are outside observers of Mormonism will point that out and be like, yeah, it's absolutely false. I'm like, yeah, you can see that, yet you can't see the falsity of your own ludicrous beliefs. I mean, God, it's fascinating, bro. But yeah, anyways, I text my grandma, who is, let me think, she's like 92 years old. She's 92, but she has the mentality of someone who's like uh young. Well, shit, my neighbor, she's fucking her name's Claxine. She's 90. She's the same age as my biological grandfather, who was born in 1931. So she's like 96, dude. 97. God, she's old as fuck. I don't know how old she is, but she's old as fuck. And dude, she is like pretty good for her age. Like she is active, she looks good. I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. These people remember the 40s, the 1940s. Like I barely remember I swear, like I barely remember the tens. I don't even remember the tens. I don't remember anything, bro. I don't remember anything. But anyways, but yeah, these people remember the 40s and then they're still alive today and they're like using emojis on iPhones and it's like mentally they're the same as like people who are like not that old. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, my point is I texted my grandmother and in fact I'll show it somehow on this, but I texted her. Let me read it real quick. So 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 she texted me today at 11:52. She said, "I can't mail your birthday present until tomorrow, so it may be late, but it will get there." And I said, "Maha, my birthday isn't until 4/28, LOL." And she said, "I know, but Texas mail is reliably unreliable," with like a smiley emoji. And I said, "Oh, haha, yeah, it is." And she said, "Oofta, I'm really out of it. I looked at my calendar again, and of course, it's the anniversary of baptism, and that's coming up now. Of course, because of your birthdays. Of course, because your birthdays are next month. Duh." As I told Austin, who that's my brother, is like, at least you guys know think about you a lot with like a smiley face with like hands waving or whatever. And I replied to her. I said, Please remove my baptism anniversary from your calendar. It is a meaningless event. We only did it because our dad coerced us into doing it into doing so that we wouldn't be ostracized by our cult that we attended. Baptism is really fucking stupid. But thanks for thinking about us always. And yeah, and then she replied, "Okay." Like shit. Yeah. I hope it didn't hurt her feelings, but like I just like it's just annoying. I don't know. I was having a hard day at work. That might have been a bit of a harsh thing to text, but like it's like this baptism anniversary. It's like why the fuck is that a big deal? Like did anything meaningful or substantial change after I had water sprinkled on my head by some fucking middle-aged fucking dude who claimed to be a representative of the creator of the universe? No. Okay, nothing changed, nothing was different. It's a stupid ritual. It's stupid. I don't want to be a part of your stupid cult shit. If I have kids, I will not I will not teach them about Christianity. I will like they will not be raised Christian. And it's so fucking hilarious now that I bring this point up. Bro, there's this family called the Rooks. They were my parents like best friends before I was born, and when I was born, and like growing up, like they were my parents' best friends, Mark and Jeanette Rooks, and they had I just kind of said their name out loud. Anyways, no one's gonna watch this. Anyways, um, and they have two daughters who were like a few years younger than me and my brother. But anyways, we'd always go to their house, and they'd always come to our house, and it was just real fun, you know. But what's funny is apparently they are atheists and their children have never gone to church before. They don't know what it's like to be raised in the Christian culture, which is the mainstream culture, but it's slowly dying. Christianity's dying. I mean, and it's beautiful like the Rooks. They don't teach their kids about Christianity, about Jesus, all that creepy cult shit. They don't teach them about that shit, and that's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious, bro. It's funny. Like it's those two girls, they're gonna go to hell, bro. They're gonna go to hell according to what my grandmother believes. But of course, my grandmother doesn't believe in that. But of course, my grandmother's not a real Christian because Christianity. Think about it. Fundamentally, what is the point, bro? I mean, like, oh, you have to believe in Jesus as your Lord and Savior. You have to believe that Jesus died for your sins in order to not burn in hell. You know, and of course, everyone like obviously today we know that that was just a scare tactic to coerce people into joining the church, and capitalism is very much intertwined with religion and in its early in its very existence. Its fundamental doctrines are influenced by the power. You know, you can go into depth about that, but it's funny because these people are absolutely normal, just a typical middle class white suburban family, but they are completely absent of Christianity. And for me growing up, like I went to church and all that shit, um, like with my parents, but it's kind of it's kind of half-assed because the first church I went to was a Methodist church, but I didn't really attend it. It was more, I guess I would go. Yeah, I think we did go every Sunday because I remember we always go to this like nice restaurant afterwards, and that was some fun shit, bro. When I was like 5 years old, that was fun as hell. Going like, damn, I was like, damn, life is good, bro. Life is good when I was 5. That was fun shit. Damn, bro, I'm sad just thinking about that, how much I missed that. But anyways, um, but my mom, the reason we went to church was because my mom worked at the church as like a daycare. She worked like she somehow she did she worked there like it was a daycare place for my preschool because my parents were teachers. I went to preschool and my mom I guess worked there too. I don't know how that happened, um, but that's the only reason we went there, and then we would attend the church there too because it was also a church. The preschool was, and then we went to this other. I'm sorry. I'm gonna end this video. I'm not trying to diverge onto like my whole whatever. But anyways, Christianity is fucking stupid. And I thought that was funny, bro. How my grandmother every fucking year she texts me, was like, Carter, oh my god, this is the month of your baptism. Oh my god. In fact, let me see if I can go back up to March of last year. It's so weird though. Like my grandmother, like she legit. And okay, so when we're speaking about my grandmother on the topic of her, it's so weird because like if you ever watched movies from like the 1950s, 1960s, you know how they talk a certain way? They have a certain like dialect in America. They have like a certain you know what I'm talking about? Like Americans in the 50s and 60s had a certain way of talking that way of talking doesn't exist anymore. And it's not necessarily like the grammar that's used, the words, but it's just the way they say words was different back then. My grandmother has that same voice. She still has that same voice from the 1950s. It's fascinating. But the way she texts, it's modern. It's modern and it's weird. It's I don't know. Trying to find this message though. Yeah, I'm not gonna look for it. I text her a lot. Jesus. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna end this video.